How hype is that? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the summit. Of course, it is the Chinese qualifiers. We're into day number 2. Missed day number 1, but already underway in the draft with Tongfu versus LGDcdec. Again, my name is Mott. I've been around a lot recently doing a lot of casting, and I look forward to bringing you the next couple of games here for the Chinese qualifiers here tonight as well as tomorrow. LGDcdec versus Tongfu, some of the lesser known teams when it comes to the Chinese squads, but still very solid. I think LGDcdec is probably one of the most underrated teams in China currently. Tongfu I haven't really seen that much of, and I'm honestly excited to see what they can bring to the table. But this is going to be a good matchup. Obviously, a best-of-1 series. We have 3 on tap, but that could always go a bit later. I mean, the tiebreakers here. At the end of the night, one team is going to be going through to the online portion of the summit, and then the other team will have to fight it up, and of course, the other teams have to fight it up in that 4-team bracket to get to that second slot for the Chinese online portion. So, a lot at stake here, obviously. You want to be able to secure yourself that spot into the online portion by just winning out here and having a really, really great time. And honestly, I'm excited to see who's going to come out on top. Tongfu and, more specifically LGDcdec having a bit of a rough time here in that first day. I believe they went 1-2. Tongfu is yet to play most of their games, so they actually have a lot to work with here. But for LGDcdec, they've already played a bit. I think they're 1-2 currently, tied with Speed Gaming. On the top is Team DK sitting at 2-1 and LV Gaming at 2-1 as well. Tongfu sitting right in the middle at 1-1, so this could be a big game for Tongfu. They could get right up there with LV Gaming, Team DK, and tie with them, or they can go down and sit at 1-2 as well. So, big game coming out. Of course, the first of 3 like I talked about, and we're already underway in the draft. Scourth Mage, Centaur Roadrunner coming out for Tongfu, and Brewmaster coming out from LGDcdec. And it's interesting that cdec picked the Brewmaster first, although not so interesting. This hero is so good that you're going to pick him first pick anyways, most of the time. And Tongfu usually like to get their hands on him, whether it's played by U9 or somebody else in Tongfu. They love the Brewmaster, but to see cdec grab it's kind of interesting here. So already well underway in the draft. Centaur Roadrunner and Scourth Mage picked up. Centaur, pretty good, but Scourth even better at dealing with the Brewmaster, making sure he doesn't get a split off. It really comes down to the early Blink Dagger timings. And when it comes to cdec, recently, Xiao Hong has been picking up a ton of Terrorblade. Q's been picking that for him and making sure they get that hero in the pool whatever way possible. Unfortunately, Tongfu say, listen, no. You're not getting the Terrorblade. You're not Terrorblading our towers. You're not split pushing. You're not ratting. It's not happening. I don't consider Terrorblade much of a rat, though. He's more of a manly man. You just need some stats on him, because otherwise he'll just die within the first 5 seconds of the game. He's the squishiest hero on the face of the planet early on in the game. He has no health, no tank ability whatsoever. He just dies. So it's not a big surprise they take that away from Xiao Hong. It's not really shocking, because that hero, number 1, is good in its own right. And secondly, if you're picking it a lot, you might as well ban it. cdec on the other side pick up Razor. This, I believe, is maybe's hero. I'm not 100% sure. I think he's been the one playing the Razor. I could be wrong about that. I just looked at this stuff beforehand, so. But I imagine this is going to be a really early game kind of team fighting lineup. And this is interesting, because you look at some of the Eastern teams, you look at some of the Western teams, and a lot of these teams are focusing more towards the late game. You'll see Spectre pickups, you'll see Naga pickups, which, to be fair, is banned out. cdec does kind of run that, but Tongfu are really all about the early game pressure. If they could have gotten their hands on the Razor, if they could have gotten their hands on the Brewmaster, they certainly would have. And instead, they go for the Scourth and the Centaur. They really do value that Centaur pretty highly, and that's not a huge shocker. So, the way this draft is panning out, I imagine a lot of early game pressure. You know, nothing too crazy. A lot of 6.81 style of Dota, but there's always this one pick. In almost every draft I've watched in this past week, there's always one pick that just throws a monkey wrench into your plans. And it's just kind of like, I didn't see that sniper pick coming, you know, or I didn't see that Necrophos pick coming. Where's that Medusa coming from? All of these picks have been kind of a bit more grabbed here in the past couple of days, especially in the European and American scene, especially like for the CIS region. They love their Necrophos. You know, Virtus Pro's been playing a little bit. Medusa's been played by Virtus Pro Polar. So, I mean, there's a lot of crazy pickups here. And then I'm expecting to maybe see in these qualifiers, but then again, with these Chinese teams, they play such sound Dota that they might just go for what works. And we do know that 6.81 style of Dota still does work. It's maybe not as strong as it used to be, but it's still pretty good. So, I don't know. I think maybe it could be on the Razor here. They can swap roles around pretty effectively. We'll probably see Garter and Q playing the supports here as we move along. And 3-3-3, well, I don't know. He'll probably play the offlane, I imagine. Tongfu, LGDcdec. And you go back, it's unfortunate. Tongfu's team, they've struggled a bit recently. And not as great as the old glory days of Tongfu when you had, players like Hao, Mu playing for that squad way back when. Tongfu is just, they were such a good squad back in the day. However, we'll see if Wanshou can reignite the flame for the organization. Lich is going to get picked up as well. And this is something that they've played a lot recently. Not surprisingly. This hero is really good at winning lanes. The problem I have with the Lich pickup here is that he's not great at rotating around and TPing to towers and making sure that you can stop ganks from happening. He's not the best rotation hero.
5 seconds remaining.
Although Chain Frost is pretty solid early on. Against a Razor and a Brewmaster, I have my concerns in this situation, but he's really good at just making sure that if you're going up against the Razor and you are able to sacrifice a couple of creeps and just kind of keep the lane in your favor, all of a sudden that lane winning presence that Razor has is maybe a little bit dampened. And for Brewmaster, the same thing goes. LGDcdec do pick up the Shadow Demon. There is a Mirana still available on the board. And LGDcdec, I imagine, will grab it if they can. I'm surprised they didn't grab it first here, but they wanted the Shadow Demon more so than anything. And you don't necessarily need the Mirana for the Shadow Demon to work. Shadow Demon works in his own right. My problem is he's a bit slow. His presence early on is kind of rough until you get those Soul Catcher and Shadow Poison levels up. And he has no chase potential unless you have that Demonic Purge. Now, they do have Clap, so that's good. They have the Disruption, obviously. Razor can just run people down. He's pretty fast in his own right. And Morphling coming out from Tongfu. So instead of playing this early type of lineup that I talked about Tongfu playing, they'll grab the Morphling. And this is one of another good hero. And in the current meta, Lincoln Sphere heroes are doing okay because, and Nahaz and I talked about this a bit earlier, was that the tower pushing has been delayed a bit more because of the current meta and how it works. So by the time your tier 2s are being right-clicked or even taken, you're going to have that Lincoln Sphere up 90% of the time, especially if Morphling can get enough farm and maybe go for a Midas. And I love this hero. He's so strong, and not only the fact that he can farm very effectively, it's just he's got such good wave clear, he can split push with Replicate, and on top of all of that, he can fight with waveform early on as well. This is a hero that has it all. The only real problem for me is that you have to secure him a safe lane to farm in at the beginning of the game, because he's very susceptible to early game harass. Although you have Morph, you don't want to have to spend a lot of mana and a lot of your health by just morphing up to strength and staying alive, because you want to be CSing, you want to be fighting, more importantly than anything else. So
Tongfu's turn to battle.
Morphling is probably one of my favorite heroes in this current meta, but on the other side, LGDcdec do pick up the Leshrac, the old school combo, Shadow Demon and Leshrac, the OGs, if you will, bringing it back. The combo that was used some time ago. Split Earth, Disruption, very strong together. Edict to push down towers. This is about as early game presence as you can get for LGDcdec. And I love it.
Reserve time.
This Leshrac, the bearded man. He's got like 4 different ears and horns, and it's, I don't know. He also has a nice little teal glow to him as well. The Split Earth isn't as hard to hit as some would think. However, with a Morphling in the pool and with a Centaur with Stampede in the pool, you've got to make sure that you're able to disrupt into that Split Earth and get the timing perfectly. And this is something that I saw a lot of other... I've seen. I don't believe it was LGDcdec that had trouble with this, but it was another Chinese team that they just couldn't get the Disruption Split Earth combos off. And that's something that you have to do in order for you to be successful early on in this game. Because I'm sure they want to roam. This is a roaming duo through and through. They absolutely can. But it's not going to mean anything if you don't get kills out of this. You can sit back and you can pull for more than likely your Razor in that bottom lane, but you want to be able to roam mid. Brewmaster is also really great at killing heroes along with Shadow Demon and Leshrac, so this is really, really tough for Tongfu. Who do you send mid now? Who do they grab for their mid? Maybe you go for like a Queen of Pain or Puck here, and I think you have a lot of ways to get out of gank if you get caught.
Tongfu's turn to pick.
You have good positioning. And if you see Leshrac and Shadow Demon coming, you can jaunt or blink away if that's the case. But they might go for a more farming-oriented mid. I'm not sure. I think a tempo controller here would be perfect. And I'm just trying to rack my brain as to what's still available in the lineup right now. Nothing's coming to mind. That's just like, it's like, yeah, let's think about this and just see who can go into the mid lane for Tongfu. No, I can't think of it. I don't know why. It always gets me, man. The 4 a.m. games. Well, Tongfu have their last pickup. 1 second reserve time. They will pick up the Lycan here. Wow. They go for the Lycan, the old school pick. Well, old school as in a patch ago, but I'm excited. I think this hero still has a place in competitive Dota. His base attack time was changed in his ultimate, and obviously the shapeshift change being the biggest deal. And Invoker picked up here for maybe. So it is going to be maybe on the Invoker instead, and they're going to send maybe Brewmaster to the offlane, or aggro try solo safe lane Brewmaster. I like that even more for C-Deck. Aggro try, though, into a Morphling is kind of tough, into a Lich is kind of tough, into a Scarith Mage, definitely tough. So that's my real concern here. They actually might send Morphling mid and then have Lycan in the safe lane. So we'll have to wait and see how this pans out. And to be honest, I'm excited for this matchup. I haven't seen C-Deck since, I think it was WEC. And they played pretty well there. No, I saw them in another tournament as well. I can't remember what it was, but it was not too long ago. And then Tongfu won show. It's been even longer for me to see them. But I'm excited. Man, Kaibu's been around with this squad for a while, I gotta say. He's a veteran. Pause comes out immediately. We will have a disconnect coming out from Shalov. And, well, guys, if you haven't really thought about purchasing the bundle coming out from the Summit, you definitely should. Cute little courier. You get the loading screen as well, I believe. Ticket, obviously. Really, really nice stuff. So check that out in the Dota store. Definitely worth it. Support these guys. I mean, beyond the Summit, they're the only ones doing this kind of stuff. I mean, and I gotta say, this is something I want to talk about because I don't really get to talk about it too often. And now that we have a pause, I'm gonna discuss it. But I was at the first Summit. I was invited back to cast and to observe for the first Summit with David and all of them. And it was an absolute pleasure to work with all those guys. It was a great experience. Got there, went right to work. But as soon as the work was done, started walking around, meeting all the players, having fun with them, and just seeing all these great games. And the environment, the atmosphere, nothing was more pleasant than being there. And a lot of people were kind of concerned about how the professionality of the cast was going. You know, it's maybe not too professional or whatever. But the whole point of this is just to have a relaxing atmosphere for the tournament. You know, the gamers to have a bit more fun, to play a bit, you know, more relaxed. But great tournament overall. Had a fantastic time, and I highly recommend the second Summit coming up here. And should be another good one. And I'm glad to be involved already early on here. Bug is going to be called for 3-3-3. So, disconnection coming out now. Garter's just like, well, he actually looks a little bit like he's missing his model. No, that's just the way he looks. He's bald, and it always bothers me, man. Look at this guy. I am Doc Ock. Look at my tendrils. Look at his tendrils. Pause coming out. Lycan. Oh, man. We got some issues early on in this game. Some more disconnections coming through from Garter, and hopefully we get things resolved quickly. Perfect World might be acting up already. Perfect World, please. Please. Well, I guess we'll have a second to get in some introductions. We don't need to do it later. Shallow will be on the Lycan for Tongfu. LPC on the Lich. We'll have Red. He'll be playing the Scarith Mage. U9 or UU9 will be on the Morphling, and Kabu playing your Centaur Warrunner to round out Tongfu's lineup. On the other side of things, 3-3-3 playing your Brewmaster. You got Garter. He'll be on the Razor. Xiaohong will be on the... actually, he's on the Razor. Garter's going to be on the Shadow Demon, excuse me. Q will be on the Leshrac, and to round it all out, it's going to be maybe playing the Invoker. So hopefully, bugs, maybe some lag issues coming out. And we'll get underway in just a moment. Now, like I said before, if you look at the rosters, or not the rosters, rather, the standings, DK sitting at 2-1, LV Gaming sitting at 2-1, Tongfu, this is only their third game, so they still have a lot to work with here. They're 1-1. Speed Gaming 1-2, LGDcdec 1-2. You look at the head-to-heads, and, well, LV took down LGDcdec. CDEC went down to Speed Gaming as well, but they beat Team DK, who are currently 2-1. So it looks like any team can beat any team in this tournament right now, in these qualifiers. And that's kind of an exciting, development here. The fact that these games are going to be close, that's really important, I think. And even more so the playoffs as well, which will begin tomorrow for the qualifiers of this region. Going to be very... CDEC, they're going to run to the Roche Pit. They realize that there is no level 1 Roche going, although with that lineup, it is plausible. You have a Centaur, you have a Lycan with Lycan Wolves. Getting some salves out. You can do some right-click damage.
To battle.
And get him down pretty quickly. Meanwhile, we'll see where they decide to lane everybody here. U9, he's playing the Morphling. He's going to head to the top lane, it looks like, and they will send Lycan mid. So my original hypothesis was correct. Science. LPC, red, they're going to head down towards the bottom lane, it looks like. Maybe they send Shadowlift bottom, they go for an aggro tri-lane bot, and then have mid Morphling, and then solo safe lane Centaur. So it looks like they are predicting that there might be an aggro tri-lane top here. And that's probably what's coming out from CDEC, but an immediate rotation coming through from Tongfu. They make the smart play. They send the heroes down bottom. Shadowlove gets the Invis rune. They're actually going to have a dual lane mid for U9 and LPC, it looks like. Already sacrificing and helping the block. Red's going to head bottom. So dual lanes mid and bot, and looks like that top lane is solo safe for the Centaur, which gives him a lot of room to work with. But they can still get kills despite how tanky this hero is. Disruption into that Split Earth combo, the damage will be real. At 333, he does have his Thunderclap ready to go. At level 1, the damage is, it's not as great as it could be, but it's still a significant amount of burst damage coming out. And Kabu actually has to play very carefully. I think he has this ward here. I don't think he's spotted out Garter and Q yet. They haven't walked around in this direction. They're actually going to rotate over to mid. Oh, LPC might walk right into them. They have a disruption to go. He backs away immediately. He sees them. The daytime vision helping him out there. He's like, help. No, I don't want to fight you guys. Please, leave me alone. I don't have any lunch money. U9 backs away.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sitting at 33 agility, 15 strength currently. Just base. 61 damage, so he should get plenty of farm here in this mid lane. And early on, it's really, I think, about putting pressure on the lanes that you have the better matchup in. For example, Razor solo safe lane. Try to pressure him down bottom. He doesn't have really any escape mechanisms other than unstable current, which I don't know if that counts. Concussive shot, howl, and right click should be enough to get the kill. However, they don't have concussive. Static link going through. This is going to be the problem, though, is that XH could just literally drain all of Shadowlove's damage, and he's actually going to get this first blood under red. The one right click to do the job, and he will get it. XH getting first blood. What a mistake coming out from Tongfu. I talked about how they can play aggressively, but not that aggressively. When you get caught out, you feed away first blood to a Razor. That's not a good hero to give it to, guys. That's not what you want to do here with the start. Garter going to pick up the double damage rune, it looks like, and maybe trying to zone at LPC. LPC, no boots. Boots are up for Garter, so he can be a bit more aggressive here. Top lane, they are getting plenty of room. And LGDcdec off to a fast start, man. The first blood, the fact that they're winning in CS in both top and in the mid lane, despite being dual laned against. This is not going the way Tongfu have planned, but again, it's only 2 minutes in.
Alms for the dead.
No need to panic. Everybody stay calm. Chill out. Maybe an U9. Well, maybe he's just going to back away. 3 points in Wex. Quas Wex Invoker. Not too common. I'm totally down for it, but you don't see it that often. So really about map control, team fight control, tempo control more so than anything. Tornado to stop any aggressors, EMP as well, Cold Snap obviously, and Ghost Walk for a good measure. Top lane. Kabu has done a pretty good job of not getting caught out. Plus he has Howl, which gives him a bit better of a time to be able to CS. Static link down in the bottom lane for XH, just going to town, but not able to get much done there. Takes an arcane bolt to the face. That doesn't feel good. He'll back away. Q Garter. They're going to smoke up. They're going to make a rotation towards the mid lane, it looks like. And this could be big. U9 might get caught out. Waveform is available for the Morphling. He does have Strength Morph as well. LPC might scout this out yet again. How many times has LPC done this? The disruption is going to go. Soul Catcher's going to fly. Split Earth. It does connect an LPC. Do they have the damage with Soul Catcher? I think they do. Roaming through. No, not enough. So close to getting the kill. They cannot get it done. Very close from LGDcdec. And this is the problem I was talking about, rotating and getting kills. And LPC has just been in the right place at the right time to stop any ganks coming through. And that's the one thing that's really going well. Is they're shutting down these supports. They're making sure they're not getting too much. Level 2 coming up from both of them. There still is level 2 Scarith Mage, but Lich is up to level 3. So, meanwhile, Static Link again on Xiao Liv. They need to use concussive shot to stop this from happening. Xiao Liv takes 126 damage. Red, one more right click. He cannot get the kill. And XH is going to head out of there. Happy with what he's accomplished. 126 damage stolen. That's actually just ridiculous. So again, the last hit's still going the way of the Brewmaster in the top lane. And they'll probably, I think, maybe go for Arcanes. With the way the bottle changes work now, the rune spawns, I think maybe you can go for the bottle and then into your Blink Dagger, but he would have bought the bottle already, I think. So he might just go either Arcanes or straight into that Blink. Disruption, Soul Catcher, Split Earth, Kabu caught out of position, taking some damage, Stomp, connects on Q somehow. That was a pretty big radius there. Edict not doing anything to Kabu, he just backs away. This guy's too damn tanky. Literally unkillable is Kabu. Boots, oh, meanwhile, maybe getting caught out, concussive shot, Arcane Bolt as well, the right click, doing some work here. He got dusted as well, Cold Snap, they want U9, no, they want red instead. U9 backs away, red clarity's up, and another failed gank. This is the story of this game, man. Alright. How many ganks can we get off and not get a kill? That's what they're trying to... They're just trying to one-up each other.
I think not.
U9 and maybe continuing to just chill in mid lane and... Hey, what's up? How you doing? Good. You farming? Yeah? Great. Glad to hear it. Maybe just kind of... Sitting here with a Null Talisman, Boots, and a Magic Stick as well. Down bottom, LPC roaming through. And Razor is going to find LPC nicely. He walked right into the Observer Ward. LPC, maybe not your best play there, buddy. However, he might stay alive. Cold Snap, however, an EMP. Wow. There used to be a Lich there. How sad. 3-3-3 continue to farm in the top lane. Two kills going for LGDcdec, 35 last hits for 3-3-3. He has split very close to his Blink Dagger, so forget about the bottle, forget about the Arcanes. He's going to go straight Blink. Problem with this is you won't have a lot of sustain to get your split and clap off multiple times. Your clap more than anything, obviously your split will be on cooldown once you use it, but... Arcanes probably will be built afterwards. However, they're chasing. There's the Disruption Soul Catcher as well. Split Earth is going to land. Kabu getting caught out. Does get the stomp off at the very end, but it doesn't matter. Q gets the kill. The clap came through as well. A lot of damage. And that provides 3-3-3 even more gold to get towards his Blink Dagger. Mid lane, maybe. Continue to just CS. The Wex is helping out. Has that increased attack speed. It's pretty nice. Bonus agility. Waveform. How's the U9 doing? 23 last hits. He's doing okay. He's only 7 CS behind this Morphling, but
Radiant's bottom tower is under
he was
attack.
dual landing for the most part, and he's not really getting much out of this lane. It just feels like his CS could be a bit better here in comparison to that of the Invoker. And it's not like Invoker has a ton of base damage. He does now with Phase Boots, but you know, with just Quas Wex, it's really not that much damage. But it turns out he's doing rather well for himself. He's been using Cold Snap pretty effectively to harass. He's been getting kills off the back end of it. EMP as well has been pretty useful. And at some point, I don't know when you start building into your Exort. Maybe you try to go for full Wex first, but then he could start becoming a monster. No Midas either, and this is another issue with going for Quas Wex, is that you don't pick up that Midas like you want on a Quas Exort. However, the trade-off is you fight early. As you see now, Tornado, EMP, Cold Snap. He can't take Kabu down alone. At least I don't think he can. But he does put on a lot of pressure there. And this is a hero that's extraordinarily tanky. I mean, bottom lane, caught out. XH, Static Link going again. He will steal only 42 damage, and here comes Xiao Love. He's trying to fight up. He's doing some decent right-click damage, but they will kill the Lich on the back end of it. And now, XH getting caught out. He'll fall. 1-for-1 exchange. Here comes 3-3-3. Agent sealed up. Disruption coming through. He does have the clap. Soul Catcher. Splitter does land. Beautifully done from Q.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Nice play coming out. Maybe an U9 continuing to trade hits in the mid lane. 5-1 the score. What's the gold graph looking like? Net worth graph. I keep saying that. It's tough to get off that habit. 3,000 gold net worth going the way of LGDcdec. Experience-wise, it's 2,000, man. It's looking solid. They have quite the lead early in this game. Again, though, Morphling, he can come back. Same can be said for the Lycan. So, the thing that I have a problem with CDec's lineup is this is decisively early game lineup, but if it goes late enough, this Morphling is going to start doing some work up against LGDcdec. Same can be said about the Lycan. But they just need room. They do have the Vlads now on the Lycan. Morphling has, I believe, not even treads yet. He does have his Aquila. He's getting treads soon. And with an Aquila, he can be a bit more liberal with his waveform usage. He'll regen mana a bit. But he's not even really close to anything like a Link sphere. He's still pretty far away. Tornado, EMP, U9 does waveform out of it. But he does he wastes the waveform. However, he'll just bottle back up anyways, so he's fine. And maybe he's going to continue to try to right-click. And meanwhile, bottom lane, look at CDec, and Razor's going to just back away, essentially. Q as well is just going to get out of dodge. U9 picks up Boots of Speed. Ring of Aquila. So, that's all he's really got in the bank now. Kabu, how close is he to his Blink Dagger? Pretty far. Well, he's caught up nicely, but he's still got a ways to go before he can really be involved in these fights. Maybe now sitting on Null Talisman, Robe of the Magi. Maybe an Orchid coming out for the Invoker here. We don't see that too often, but it used to be a common occurrence. Tornado, EMP, U9 getting caught out. He's got no mana left. He cannot morph anymore. But they can't get the damage done. The Splitter coming in onto LPC. Why you TP in front of the tower like that? You know you're going to die. Concussive shot, Ancient Seal, maybe. Taking some damage. Jukes the waveform, but still should go down here. Not enough. He can even use Quas to regen, but he wants the move speed. The one right click from Red will get the job done. Nice play coming out there, but a 1-for-1 trade in the end. Top lane split goes. Kabu getting caught out. Cyclone's up. They have the stun ready to go. Kabu in trouble. Looks like he might fall and will. Just at the end there. Brewmaster comes in with the split. His first clap coming in, or his first blink clap split rather. Getting involved in getting a kill. And we talked about Kabu getting his Blink Dagger. That's not happening anytime soon. It gets delayed even further. So the one thing though is that they're not getting these kills, like I said earlier. U9's still able to farm up somewhat, and more importantly, Shallow in the bottom lane has now a Medallion, Vlad's, his treads are going to be done, he's going to use his Howl. They want to take this tower, the Static Link is going to go, and CDec's Razor's a bit faster there. XH running at him with the Static Link on. 56 damage stolen, not in denial range yet. We'll have to keep our eyes on Red as well as Shallow, and see what he can do. Plasma field from CDec. Meanwhile, Garter up in the top lane. Kabu getting brought down. Centaur again. Probably another blink clap involvement there. And it looks like maybe he is going to be going for the Orc of Malevolence. He has 2 Robes of the Magi now, so solid choice. And at this point, you have such a wide lead for LGDcdec. I mean, 4,000 at this point in the game is pretty significant. That you wonder for Tongfu, what do they need to do to get back into it? They need to start rotating over to the jungle and getting some jungle farm, helping out U9, maybe stack some camps for him, he can waveform those. And taking some towers more importantly. That'll push him over the edge to get towards that Lincoln Sphere if he wants to go for that item, which I imagine he will in this game. Against Disruption, Demonic Purge, Static Link, I believe, is blocked. Invoker, anything from Invoker, really. And the Brewmaster as well. And this might even be one of those ultra-defensive games where you go for not only the Lincoln Sphere, but the BKB as well. He is getting some time to put some pressure on the Tier 1 tower. They have a Glyph. Unsurprisingly, it's a Tier 1 tower. You're always going to have a Glyph, it seems like, with these.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And they back up. Alright, we're done here. Time to peace. Let's get out of here. Rotation. Maybe's here on the top lane. Top side, rather. Up the stairs, down the stairs, back into the lane, back to farming, maybe playing the life of the Invoker. Getting closer and closer to that Orc of Malevolence. Kabu getting jumped on, blink, clap. Centaur Stampede, the one right click would do the job, but Kabu makes his way out of there just barely. He'll TP out. Mech is now done. The Razor picks it up pretty early, 13 minutes, and they probably could have been there even earlier had you avoided that one death. Meanwhile, Edict coming out. Tower is going to get glyphed, but this is the problem. You have this little level 2 Edict, and all of a sudden, it's very difficult to deal with Tongfu, or for Tongfu to deal with this pressure coming in. They can take down towers like crazy for CDEC, and they'll take down the tier 1 at the very least. The last tier 1 on the map for Tongfu is in that mid lane. So again, CDEC playing this very early aggressive style of Dota that you see out of 6.81. Although they're making it work for them. Shalov is going to maybe run right into 3-3-3, but he has the Invis Rune, and he just popped it as well. Meanwhile, fight. Chain Frost coming out. Mystic Flare, 2 ultimates, and Q is going to fall. The last bounce coming in. Boom. Shakalaka. Garter getting caught out. Demonic Purge is going to go, but there's the Blink Clap coming in. Beautifully done. Now they might be able to get LPC on the backside. Garter taking a lot of hits as well. Ancient Seal coming out. He will fall to the Lycan Wolves. 2 for 2 traded. There was a buyback from the Lashrak. Kabu getting caught out. Stomp goes, but does nothing. Double kill for 3-3-3. The Panda,
middle tower has fallen.
as cute and cuddly as he may be, he's killing some people.
Tower is under attack.
It's horrifying.
Dire's structures are
Diablo Edict coming out now. The tower is going to get glyphed as well, and
middle
at least they're putting pressure. Meanwhile, tier 2 tower, Lycan just doing Lycan things.
Is under attack.
He sees the TP in from Razor. He says, "Hey, Lamau." He just backs up real quick. I'm out of here. LPC continuing to just farm up here in this bottom lane. Trying to get something going. He's only sitting on Tranquil's 2 GG branches at Sentry. Not much for that poor support. And thus, the support life continues. And when you're this behind at this point in time, it's really tough to find anything for your supports. I mean, even your cores are really struggling. So for finding something for supports, it's very difficult. One thing they can do to alleviate that pain is by either A, taking Roche, or B, taking a fight off the smoke. And they'll go for the former. Shalov just heads into Roche, pops up the Howl, and immediately LGDcdec have an understanding this is happening. Blink Clap comes in, Ancient Seal. EMP's gonna go as well. Shalov's like, please get me the hell out of here. He ults and he pieces out. If only there was a disruptor, he would be back in a second. But no such disruptor in this game. Although Garter loves to play that hero, so maybe he's thinking that currently. Kabu jumping on maybe, but here's the Clap exchanging. Clap and Stomps exchanging all over the place. Just Big Ben fighting in the bottom lane.
Even the best gladiators must fall.
Even the best gladiators must fall, according to Centaur. Well, that certainly doesn't help the chances coming out of Tongfu. LPC teeps away. Oh, the courier. You forgot to micro the courier, Lich. Oh, no. Only dust on it, though, so could be worse. Top lane, Shalov takes the top tower, and XH was trying to deal with him by static linking, but no such luck to get the kill. 17 minutes in. If you're a betting man, you might be betting on LGDcdec right now. Some rares may be in jeopardy. It's a bit too early to tell, but they do have this giant lead. Maybe not as giant as I make it out to be. 7,500. Experience-wise, 4,000. They got it all. 3-3-3. Blink Dagger. Point Booster. Aghanim Scepter. Pain. That's all I can say. That's what will be delivering is pain to Tongfu. Cold Snap coming in, looking for an illusion. That's just the replicate. And they realize this very quickly, but they're okay with it. The replicate can't go back mid. TP into the bottom lane. They take the tower mid. Clap coming in. Split's going to go as well. This is a problem. Red couldn't get it off in time. He gets caught out. He's going to fall. Up in the air, you can see the Morphling cycling up. They're chasing after LPC on the other side. Demonic Purge. He pops the Chain Frost. He will go down. They're chasing after Shalov, and he's going to be in some trouble here as well. Shalov about to fall, maybe, and the rest of the squad doing some work. The ownage call from the announcer. Oh, come on, man. That's not very nice. They're trying their best. LGDcdec, though, take the fight. The Orc of Malevolence has been paying off for maybe. He's doing some hilarious damage, and 3-3-3 is doing some absolute work in this game. Involved in, looks to be a lot of these kills. 4-0-7. 11 in kill involvement coming out from 3-3-3. Heading up to the high ground is going to be the Razor, and, well, he's just going to push in. We'll see if he goes for the Axe next. He does pick up the Bracer. Maybe he builds into the drum afterwards. I imagine the act should come out pretty soon. Courier is, I think, going to the secret shop, where we'll probably purchase up a point booster, but maybe not, as actually the Razor's making his way over there. There's no real reason in doing so. Maybe sells his magic stick.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Or doesn't buy anything. He juked me, man. Oh, come on. Demon level jukes coming out from LGDcdec's Razor, and Static Link doesn't get off. He got body blocked there at the end. He couldn't steal any damage, unfortunately. Meanwhile, deep penetration fighting mission from Maybe. LPC is going to get fought out. Maybe's getting right-click down. The Wolves gnawing at his feet, but he will just make it away just fine. And Garter, he looks on. They're all about those deep missions coming out. Kabu as well as Red here. Oh boy. Bottom lane, U9. Just saying hi. He's got waveform. He's got adaptive strike as well. Going for the straight ethereal blade. This is what I like to see. If you're down, this is what you're gonna build. Why not just hit people in the face? If you're, I mean, this is gonna give them a lot. Obviously, you could play a bit safer and get the Lincoln Sphere, but by that time, maybe the game's already over. And I like the decision to go straight for the ethereal blade. Shalov might get caught out. Maybe he's got the Orchid. He's waiting for a couple more heroes. There's the Orchid. The Ghost Walk slows him down as well. Blink Clap. He's getting blown up. No mana to Stampede or to ult out, but Stampede does come to help him and save his life. Shalov. Oh, the Demonic Purge takes off and gets the kill. Garter. Kill secured. He backs away slyly. Blink Dagger already done for your Shadow Demon. Pretty impressive timing there. Meanwhile, Aghanim Scepter for 3/3/3. He's good to go. Schwagnims, as it's called. Or Swaganims. Depends on how you look at it. Kabu, LPC, Red. They're up on the high ground currently. U9, sitting mid. This is maybe a defense they're going to have to make here. Roshan's still up and available. They tried maybe going for it, but decided against it from LGDcdec after the engagement coming out from Tongfu. Again, I mean, all that's really left to do here for LGDcdec is to push in. And the longer they let this game go, the more that Tongfu are in a position to take this back. And they absolutely can. I mean, have you ever played up against a Morphling with an Ethereal Blade? Even if you're behind, it's pretty disgusting. And he has it now, man. 21 minutes in, Ethereal Blade is there ready to go. Tongfu's Kappa, rather Kabu, I don't know why I said that. U9 getting caught out. Kabu static linked up, he's in trouble. Plasma Field taking a lot of damage. He'll fall. LPC as well. Look at this initiation. So much damage from the Panda. Tornado coming in. Red's gonna get caught out. One more right click will do the job. Just so close. And they will get it done there with the Air Panda getting that last kill. They're rotating back around. Like it's here. Shalov's going to try to clean this up. 3/3/3 is too tanky, sir. You must please back away from the Brewmaster. We will see the Razor TP back towards that bottom lane. They take the tier 2 tower. They take the fight yet again. Oh, come on. I clicked the fight recap. Don't be like that. Volvo. BKB for the Razor is his next choice of item. And honestly, this seems like the right decision. You could argue for a point booster into an Aghanim Scepter, but to stay safe against an Ethereal Blade, this is what you're going to have to do. And to stay safe against really anything on the side of Tongfu, with the exception of the Lycan. Maybe is here Ghost Walked ready to go. He's getting all hot and bothered, but can't find anything to get a kill. Not yet anyway. Force Staff coming out from him. He'll have a bit more mobility. I would like to have seen a Blink Dagger instead. I just like Blink in this situation a bit more. If you're being aggressive, a Blink Dagger maybe can benefit you just a bit more. But that's his decision to make. U9 might get caught out. Meanwhile, they're going to jump right on top of Kabu. Can't get the split off. Great Ancient Seal. And there's the Ethereal Blade just to secure the kill for U9. And Invoker was like, well, I could have gotten a kill, but my Brewmaster went and committed suicide, so that's the problem. Kabu chasing down Maybe. But I don't think they have a... Dust comes through. Yeah, they knew he was there, but no gem. Trying to click... Oh, speaking of gem, there's one on Garter. He's got it done. He's ready to go. Shalov making his rat presence known down in the bottom lane. Not really ratting. I mean, just kind of split pushing at this point. There's a fine line between split pushing and then evolving into the rat. And he's he's not really walking that tightrope yet, just yet. He does pick up the BKB. Rat would be full on, Necro 3, Lycan Wolves, stay there for a bit. And the problem with Lycan split pushing nowadays is that, again, his ult change makes it pretty difficult. And it used to be, if you had a Lycan on your team that was very, very skilled, you could transition from Rat and evolve into Raticate, the ultimate form of Rat. But, not so much anymore. Meanwhile, Orchid, they blow up LPC. That took 2 to 3 hits. The double damage rune from maybe blowing him up. He sees this poor Centaur Courser coming through, and he just tornadoes him immediately. Get out of my way. Carl's such a mean man. So mean-spirited. Ogre Club for the Morphling. So it looks like he will go for BKB. That's the right decision. You don't have the mana regeneration coming out and the stats coming out from the Lincoln Sphere, but he already has enough agility coming through from Ethereal Blade, so
Gold for me.
they'll continue to wait for him. So that's the problem, I think, when you do forego the Lincoln Sphere. Although it's the right decision in this game, is just you can't spam waveform as much. You'll run out of mana eventually, and you won't regen fast enough just by a Ring of Aquila. But you can still split push. All the while, though, LGDcdec, they'll take Roshan and maybe picks up the Aegis. I like this. I like this decision. He's more of a right clicker than anything else right now with Orchid. And his phase boots as well. He does finally have the point in Exort. I don't think he'll use it really for anything other than maybe a Deafening Blast and Alacrity, more important. He's going to have so much attack speed if he pops his Alacrity. It's just disgusting. Ugh. Tongfu grouping up in the jungle. I'm surprised they haven't really made use of smokes yet. They still have one on red. He's had one for a while. If they smoke, they can maybe get something done and make more room for their cores. But it looks like they're probably just content to have Shallow split push in the top lane, and the bottom lane you'll have, you know, U9 just trying to get to his BKB. Maybe that's when they smoke up, when you get your BKB on U9. Top lane, ultimate not coming out. There's the disruption, static link going through. Now there's the ultimate going through. BKB popped as well. Shallow is going to get out and TP away immediately. Smart play. And BKB charge wasted. It's a 10-second duration BKB charge, so a bit unfortunate, but you do what you got to do to get out of there. Kabu walking up to the high ground. Dust, he uses it. He does connect on maybe Stampede as well, and they can't get the kill. They just go the complete opposite direction and decide against it. That's really the problem. Ghostwalk is just so good right now, I think, for maybe a year or so. I've yet to make a maybe pun as well.
Is under attack.
Kind of glad I've restrained myself. And this game was going so smoothly, they just decided they needed to pause and throw everybody off here real quick. No. I'm sure there are some issues coming out for LGDcdec. So, again, 26 minutes in, guys. I want to remind you, you're watching the Summit 2 qualifiers here. The Chinese qualifiers coming out on Beyond the Summit. My name is Mott, and we've got a pretty good game on our hands, although it has been a bit one-sided, and Tongfu have really just, they're grasping at straws right now. They're down 10,000 net worth. Experience-wise, they're down 10,000 as well. They've got to find a way to get back into the game, and I don't know if there is one. I mean, you've got to get involved with these kills with U9, especially with this Ethereal Blade. But at the same time, you have to stay safe in doing so. Shalov was going to go ahead and... I don't know what he's building towards. Actually, I don't think he has any components on the Courier. He does not, but he'll also be a big factor in these team fights. And more you're seeing people transition away from BKBs and into... or away from Necrobooks and into BKBs, just so they can stay safe and get out effectively. It's a big cost to pay, obviously, but keeping your core safe is very important. CDEC now continue putting pressure here on the tier 2 tower, the last tier 2 tower of the game for Tongfu. And they can push up into the high ground. They have Aegis, I believe, still. They just took it. It's on Maybe, that's right. Maybe's actually rotating towards mid for whatever reason. I don't think he can get a gank unless he's going for LPC. G is called, and we should get back into this one here in just a second, guys. Oh, alright. Maybe not. G. Tongfu? Question mark? Hello? Hello? Oh, that was supposed to be a question mark, but that did not turn out well. Let's try this a bit. There, that looks a bit better. Still looks pretty awful, but it looks a bit better.
Regeneration.
Maybe chasing after LPC. Orchid's gonna go. Cold Snap, he forces up to the high ground, did not get a miss there, and LPC should fall. The Orchid Soulbird will get the kill, and then immediately Ghost walks away. What an assassination coming out from LGDcdec, maybe. And he goes right back in. He thinks they all backed, but now they actually back to the bases. The tier 3 tower was getting assaulted for a moment, but now maybe chasing after Red. The Orchid already off cooldown. Red's about to fall and will. Unstoppable streak for maybe. This guy's putting on a clinic on how to play Quas-Wex Invoker. For all of you young up-and-coming Invoker players. Quas-Wex, it's a thing too. Not just Quas Exhort. Get your mind out of that thought process. Now it's Aghanim's time for XH here for LGDcdec. With an Aghanim Scepter, an Aegis, and a couple more items, they're pushing the high ground. Kabu is going to find out Q. Double Edge should grab the kill. Q has a point booster, by the way. Actually, they can't get the kill. Kabu decides against it. He'll throw up the Double Edge at the end, and then it just gets canceled because he's just TPing out, and he can't get it off in time, so... Oh, man, if you look at the kill score, too, 24-6, it almost feels like just a brutal pounding, but that's not necessarily the case. The kill score, and I'd say even the net worth graph, aren't indicative of how this game could go theoretically. I mean, only in theory, but you could come back for Tongfu. I mean, U9 can do it, man. Jalov can do it. Not if he dies in the top lane, though. Orchid Cold Snap, immediate BKB, forced to TP, and maybe he's happy with that trade. That is nothing that he uses. No big cooldowns. It's pretty much just Tongfu having to waste another BKB charge. Speaking of BKBs, and you thought it was difficult to kill 3-3-3 beforehand, now with this, he's ready to go. He's ready and raring. To use a phrase from earlier, hot and bothered. Oh boy, he wants to get involved, man. He wants to get some kills. The question is, how long did they wait? And as expected, Q does go for the Bloodstone build. He has the Soul Booster currently, and it's going to give him some tankiness and a lot of mana to work with as well. Meanwhile, Ancient Zeal, they caught out maybe. He was way out of position, walked right into his Sentry Ward. Rotation's coming through, though, and they will have to back away. But at the very least, they do get the Aegis. And something that could have been used to go up to the high ground and try to pressure a tier 3 tower. This is the most lackluster. Oh, man, this is a very sad gold graph. Just one skull, that's it. But, Shalov continuing to split push down in the bottom lane. Looks like an Assault Cuirass is going to be his choice of item. And, where's the Morphling? Split Earth. He just stood there for that. Orchid coming out. Primal Split as well. Unai taking a lot of damage. Has to BKB and replicates away. They wasted a lot for that kill. They couldn't get it done. The Orchid not lasting nearly long enough. Meanwhile, he's regenning up. There is going to be the Glyph. Edict did go. Now on cooldown here. The Panda's still up and ready to go. Cyclone in the air. Nah, that'll be on the Lich. And the tier 3 tower getting assaulted, but they're not really doing enough damage to take it down. At this point in time, honestly, considering there's going to be an Assault Cuirass coming up from Jalov, I think you build one for LGDcdec. Jalov is going to TP away and make it out alive. They can't get that tier 2 tower, though. That's what they really want. They just can't get it done. All the split push in the world's not helping them right now. U9's back to farming. I don't know really if they can get that kill. Maybe coming in. Orchid's going to go through as well. EMP, Ethereal coming out. Will keep him in ghost form. BKB pops. U9 has no mana. He does have to replicate. They do blow up the Invoker. Kabu coming in with the stomp and the Double Edge. They're turning it around. Maybe. Splitter coming back in. Blink forward. Double Edge coming in. Garter grabs the kill. Next up, here comes Jalub. Blink further. Splitter grabs yet another one. That'll be on LPC. Maybe not the fight you're looking for a Jalub, but now Kabu Getting right-click down on U9, right-clicking him down. He's getting brought low. Eye of the Storm, Aghanim Scepter. No, it's just regular Eye of the Storm doing work. They blink and they find U9. They bring him down. He's dead for 65 seconds. And that could have been the fight they were looking for. He does have buyback, yes, but no glyph this time around. However, Eye of the Storm, still no Aghanim Scepter. It might be flying out now. In fact, it is. That is a full Aghanims here for Razor, but no mana to use it. That's the issue here. And they're just right-clicking away at this tier 3 tower. They have no abilities to take this down and make this a bit easier. No split. Wait, just kidding. Yes, but I don't know where that came from. I thought he used it for sure in the last fight. He's going to split now, and they want to try to fight off the back end of this. Going to maybe toss on Shalev, cyclone him up in the air. He tries to take the Rax by himself, and this is the range Rax. At the very least, he will get chip damage. The Fire Panda sitting there, just right-clicking it down. He safely gets the Earth Panda away from the base. He does his job. He pieces out. Time to go chill with the homies. 333 TP's back home. Purchases up the TP scroll. He's good. He's Gucci. LGDcdec Razor backing away.
Double damage.
This guy's gonna start zapping some people. Orchid, Cold Snap, Stampede, Blink, Stomp. Great disruption from Garter coming in. Kabu getting caught out. There's gonna be the Chain Frost bouncing through. 333 jumps in as well. Double kill for him with the split. Beautifully done. Poison coming in. Demonic Purge not there. Immediate Ethereal Blade. Destruction coming out from U9. On the back end, Shalev was thinking about fighting. Decided against it. Triple kill for 333 as it chases up to the high ground. And they're just going to check Roshan. Not up yet, guys. Good try, though. It's up in about a minute and a half. And they'll win the fight pretty handily and get even more gold going their way. So, at this point, despite no sense of Rax being down, I feel like Tongfu are clinging on for dear life. BKB now done for the Morphling. He picks up the Ultimate Orb, which is either a Manta or a Scotty. I don't know which one. I don't think it's a Lincoln Sphere this late into the game, but I've been wrong before, so. Disclaimer, Mont does not know everything about Dota. If only. Tornado, BKB from Jalop. He'll try to get out, and looks like he won't make it away. The right click not nearly enough for maybe to get the kill. But that BKB is down to, yeah, 6 seconds. It's getting close to 5. Tornado, or, God, that's not a tornado. What the hell am I talking about? That's a giant meatball. The meteor coming down, clearing out the creep wave. A bit bold. I mean, that's a pretty long duration cooldown, so. Interesting decision. Here comes the Razor. Static Link now going up at the Centaur Whirlwind. Cold Snap going as well. And he's just going to die. He is absolutely dead. That poor illusion gets caught out. How unfortunate. Bloodstone now coming through. And that'll be for the Leshrac. And when you have a lead, this is when the item is most effective. If you're behind as a Leshrac, you're probably not going to get the money to build a Bloodstone anyways. But if you do, it's probably not the best choice. You won't be able to get kills and try to turn those into charges. And right now, if they can get a couple of kills, he'll be at some decent charges. He can respawn pretty quickly and just get involved in split pushing like crazy. They take down the range rack. Stampede going. BKB. Kabu looking for Garter. Finds him and kills him. The Ethereal Blade on top of it. But look at the static. Like, look at the BKB whipping them into shape. Zap, zap, motherfucker. Meanwhile, they're still going to town. Q getting chased away. He's going to get right-clicked by Shao Love and should be okay. No, he falls. He does get the Bloodstone. No, he doesn't get the deny off. Meanwhile, looking for more 3 dead on Tongfu's side. Shao Love getting hit up with the rock. He can't get away. No ultimate coming out. Buyback status. He certainly has it. He's going to try to TP away. He might make it in. Will. What a play. What a ballsy play. The biggest balls coming out from that Lycan, man. I'll tell you what. Just to make that play alone. Morphling and Lycan seem to be almost unkillable in these fights. And they'll throw back this Brewmaster, but the set of racks is going to fall. Again, Tongfu hanging on by a very small and thin thread. They lose the set of racks. They'll try to chase down 333. Ethereal Blade going through, but look at that long projectile time to get there. Backs away from the Brewmaster. Meanwhile, Tongfu head into the Roche pit. And it's their time to claim the Aegis. At least that's what they think. No split. Stampede's gonna go BKB for 3-3-3. This fight could have gone a lot worse for LGDcdec. Turns out to be pretty okay. Ags, Primal Split, ready to go. Kabu's pushing out mid.
Radiant's top
TP now coming in from Q in the
attack.
top lane. A bold decision. Now that they know that he's here, they can go straight into Roche and they'll do exactly that. And there's no way you can take this engagement, but already they're running it back towards the Roche pit. I don't know. This could be close. They know that he's making his way over there. U9's going to get involved as well. This Roshan falling low, and it looks like it will be taken down. The medallion being so effective.
Roshan
Mantis style
has
now
fallen
done, and all of a
into
sudden,
the dark.
Tongfu have turned this game around potentially, even with a set of racks down. This could be their game now. Shalov continue to pressure bottom. Tier 2 tower, which he's been working on the entire game, is still there, much to his chagrin. How sad. And in the top lane, Razor continues to CS and get towards, I imagine, a Shiva's, but I really would like to see an Assault Cuirass instead. I just think that's the better item choice.
A lucky find.
Q places up another Observer Ward here on the high ground. One of the best wards in the game, in my honest opinion. This is just an easy access point to get to and gives you so much vision. It's a lot safer than getting to the Uber Cliff. And now some Team Ancient stacking. The team building exercise continues from Tongfu. The Assault Cuirass is actually finished up for the Brewmaster, which I didn't even see him buy any of the components, so he will grab that. He has to actually put something on the ground. Looks like it was a bottle, I believe. Yeah. And now it definitely means that the Razor is going to be going for a Shiva's card. Totally fine with that at this point. My only concern was that they weren't going to be building an Assault Cuirass, but now that they have one done for the Brewmaster, this gets a bit easier, but still, now there's still plenty of good items here from Tongfu to make this game drawn out, and for even them to take a set of racks here pretty soon. At some point, you have to wonder if Lycan maybe goes for... If you grab a Necro 3, and you get Howl off, and you have your Assault Cuirass Aura nearby, buildings and people are going to melt like butter. They'll just die. Howl, Necro 3 is actually just... It's gross. It's a disgusting amount of damage. I don't think they changed that interaction in the last patch. I'd be very surprised. There are still some things that I'm learning about the patch as we move in closer and closer to ESL New York. But, U9, right-clicking down the tower, gets cliffed immediately. TP rotation coming through. This is a bait, I think. Or maybe. It's not a bait. They really can't force him into an engagement. Maybe he's looking for Shalov, just to pop the BKB yet again. At this point, Shalov could just pop it whenever. I mean, it's a 5-second duration BKB, and you can't refresh that, so... Maybe he's going to just try to force the BKB out of him anyways. However, he's not doing that much damage. Meanwhile, Morphling takes the top tower. Shalov getting disarmed. He's fine, actually. The damage is not there anymore. The Assault Cuirass actually makes it impossible for maybe to really bring him down, even with an Orchid. He was owning him earlier with the right click, but the tankiness of the Lycan is now ridiculous. Smoke up. This is what Tongfu need to do. They're the ones putting the pressure on now, and they're going to work. Shalov will go bottom and try to defend that quickly. But the rest of Tongfu want to fight here, and they need to make something happen with the smoke, I think. This could be a huge pickup for them if they find any one hero. Maybe with the exception of Garter. No offense, Garter. You're not the most important target for them. Net worth-wise, U9 is leading the way. Shalov is right behind him. Replicate out coming from the Morphling, realizing his team has left him, so they get nothing to do with the smoke up to seat gank, and oh well. 100 gold down the drain. Gems picked up for LPC. Nice choice for the Lich, but that's all he's got. Man, this Lich is really poor. He is below the poverty line. Shalov in the bottom lane. He'll make his way out. 2.9k. Almost 3k gold in the bank. Kabu red and LPC. roaming around. They have the replicate with them as well, so if U9 gets caught out or he wants to be with his team during a fight, they have the options with replicate. And now we've gotten into this 40-minute farm fest. And this is what I suppose a lot of people have been talking about with 6.82 is just like, if Tongfu win this, then the early game just really doesn't matter at all. You could argue that LGDcdec could have pushed up to the high ground a bit earlier, but it just felt like there was no way to do so without maybe an Aegis or a really good fight. And they could not kill this Morphling, they could not kill this Lycan. And that's really been the downfall of LGDcdec. Not that they've lost yet, again. Neither team is going down without a fight, but you know, if they do win this game, if Tongfu win this game, you could see 6.82 pretty much in a nutshell. And they haven't really won fights. They're actually still pretty far behind. They're just farming up. And one big fight could be the key to victory here. The problem is also LGDcdec don't really have split pushing heroes. They can't really find places on the map to just pressure the lanes. Orchid, Shallov's going to BKB. They have no way of stopping this. He'll get out just fine. Nothing you can do there for LGDcdec at all. I mean, he's just gonna stand and BKB and just get out of there. And he's just too tanky to deal with, which leaves that much more room for U9 in the top lane. Who, by the way, is going Scotty. He has the ultimate orb now done. Again, it could be a Lincoln Sphere, but you never know. Scotty, he could pick up his second ultimate orb now if he wants to, but I think he would rather save for buyback at this point in time, which he, I mean, has by a couple hundred gold, so. And people talk about how the Brewmaster kind of loses his presence later on in the game, but as BKB durations get lower, then your presence becomes that much more important. Static Link, U9 just waveforms away. He loses 0 damage out of that. Now Ancient Seal, 333, BKB red, getting caught out. He's going to fall. And Kabu blinks away as well. A freebie coming out from 333. I'll take that one. Thanks very much. Puts it in his pocket and walks forward. Even Q getting involved in the Ancient stack taking here. Ghost Scepter, Force Staff. This is one farm Leshrac. It's a bit unfortunate the first game is going to be this long, though. But it's certainly going to make for one climactic finish, I think. I hope so, anyway. Basher now done for Shallov. This wolf, he's at your door. Well, maybe not quite yet, but soon. Maybe down bottom is continuing to farm. And he's just going to push this out real quick. He's going for a Scythe. He's had this ultimate orb for what seems like forever. Scythe is now done. This is it. This is the item I think that really helps you in this situation. You hex up before the BKB. You hex the Lycan before the BKB, and then you just try to lock him down. Hex, Split Earth, whatever you can do to lock him down before he can pop that BKB. This is one way to do it. This might be the item that wins them the game for LGDcdec. You could say the same thing also about the Morphling. However, he's got a pretty good understanding that they are there. They just smoked up, I believe, towards that ward. U9 picks up a Scotty as well, and this is smart. He's just going to walk away, whereas the rest of them are putting pressure on the tier 2 tower. They really want this kill, and they won't be able to find it. Blink, they're going to go right up to the high ground instead. And there's actually creeps to the base because of the melee racks being gone. Eye of the Storm is going. It is Aghanim Scepter. They have to TP back now. Tier 3 tower is about to fall. What a play coming out from CDEC. Kabu getting caught low. Meanwhile, tower is going to go down. Shalov hexed up, but he's so fast with the ultimate. They can't lock him down. There's no way they can get his Split Earth like that. So Hex is now down. There's the Adaptive Strike. Looks like they're okay with the tier 3 tower. There's going to be the EMP, not connecting on anybody. CDEC, back up we go. Clap goes in. BKB Kabu now getting brought low. But 333 Mystic Flare, Ancient Seal, defensive disruption coming out. BKB on cooldown. Split can't get off. He will fall. The split is not there coming out from CDEC. That's a big loss for them. They do take the tier 3 tower, but again, at what cost? They will have buyback. I don't think they'll need it. The more important thing is, though, Roche is up. And without your Brewmaster, you cannot really fight this, I think. And that's why I'd like to see a buyback coming out from the Brew now. Because I think right now, Tongfu are heading over to the Roche Pit and they say, listen, we have a chance to get an Aegis and keep ourselves in this game. Not only that, they have an Abyssal Blade now on this Lycan who's just farming up a Storm. And you look at this Morphling. Scotty's been finished. We saw that in the last little engagement there. Almost full agility, and he replicates down towards the roach pit as well, and he should have room. In fact, he will grab the Aegis, it looks like, in this scenario, so. Maybe they can push into the racks. There's no glyph. You already have to send LPC and the Scarith back to the base, but what can they do? Maybe comes through with the Forge Spirits. Edict's gonna go. Meatball, Deafening Blast. They really want to take this Rex, but they can't get it. Forge Spirits taken away at the range racks. They're gonna get Frost Blasted, but Kabu and the rest of the squad bring down Roshan, and U9 picks up an Aegis for himself. I believe that was the third Roche. Who has cheese? Maybe not? Oh, it's on the courier. Okay. Yeah, they sent the courier over there to grab it. Invoker with 1,200 gold in the bank. The Scythe I thought was going to be so much more important, but they have to find the Lycan before he gets his ultimate off. So they try to pressure into that top lane before maybe they got a pick with the Hex, and I think that was really the problem. So only one set of racks down. Tongfu, they're not giving up, they're not giving in. They're the Karate Kid, man. And they'll fight to their last gasp. What a guy Ralph Macchio was in that movie. Anyways, U9 continuing to push out the top lane. 3,000 gold in the bank for him. His next item, who knows? Still split pushing top, though. That's going to be his goal, I think, for the next couple of minutes here. Just try to pressure into that. Force rotations back to the tier 3 top lane. Even if he gets caught, he doesn't have an Aegis, but he also has a replicant. I'm sure he'll replicate back by the time. Because he doesn't have a TP. He pretty much has to replicate back. So where's that illusion actually? It's right next to Kabu, so they have to make sure that's safe. Replicate in 5. TP reactions are coming. Waveform, replicate out. Yep. Smart. Put as much pressure as you can up on that top lane and then replicate out as soon as it gets low. They could have maybe gone at him earlier, but no. No lockdown. If they hexed him, they probably stop him from getting out of there, and they maybe even force the Aegis. I don't know. Very close from him dying. I mean, he had 1 second left on the replicate when he replicated out, so. And Tongfu are just, this is a war of attrition that right now LGDcdec are losing. And yeah, the gold graph is not going down, the net worth graph is not going down anytime soon, but Kabu runs right into maybe. He does have the gem. Stampede's going to go. Force away. Blink further. No, to force first. Hex up now on Kabu. He gets caught out. Blink dagger on cooldown for a second. BKB. Brewmaster jumps in. Claps. Split. LPC. He's going to be the only one focused down here. Meanwhile, Stomp at the back end. Double Edge coming through. Disruption. Abyssal Blade. Garter getting brought low, but he does Ghost Scepter. Nicely done. U9 now trying to man up here. That's going to be, oh, this poor Razor getting blown up. They bring him down. 1-for-1 trade. Beautifully done. Q getting chased down as well. Ghost Scepter. They will grab the damage. The Stomp, but he does Bloodstone himself, realizing, hey, I'm dead. 3-3-3 split is done. All of a sudden, Tongfu, they're bringing this back around. There's going to be the Ancient Seal. The Meatball, the Deafening Blast coming through. But if they can kill, maybe they get the kill for sure. They get the racks, I believe. They do have this Ethereal Blade. They're going to run right into the tier 2 tower. Hal's going to get popped. What a fight for Tongfu. And they get a lot of gold back after that one. 3,000 gold swing, 3.5 even. Tier 2 tower gets obliterated. Glyph comes up. That's backdoor protected. You got to be kidding me. The amount of damage Xiaolov and U9 are doing. They're whittling this down easily. And they have to pressure out this lane somehow. They can't go high ground against backdoor protection. Glyph was popped, so it's not available any longer. Buybacks should be available for pretty much everybody. The only two that don't have it on the Radiant side are the Invoker, as well as, of course, Garter on that Shadow Demon. So Tongfu now, it's their job. They can finish this one off 50 minutes in. All of a sudden, it looks pretty good for them. Oh, maybe not this. Orchid, Hex up, EMP, Dead Glitch. Very Dead Glitch. Benumbed indeed, my friend. U9 slowly waddles, I guess. Shifts. Waves down the top lane. Trying to find the right verb. Meanwhile, U9. He gets static link. He says, I'm out of here. That's enough of that. So Scotty, Manta, Ethereal Blade, BKB bots. And 1 slot for the Aegis. What does he get to finish this off? Perhaps Satanic? I don't really know if you need any more damage, man. I mean, you've got almost 300, 400 damage or so. Yeah, I think honestly you're good to go, dude. You don't really need the damage. Shiva's Guard for the Razor. We talked about that a bit earlier. He does finish up a Heaven's Halberd as he had like 4,000 gold or something. He'll purchase that up real quick. And now Q. I talked about how I like the Bloodstone purchase. It's not really paying off, man. 4 charges left in the bank. And LGD, they're the ones grasping at straws now. They're the ones trying to find anything for them to get kills with. And they might find red here, but... oh boy. Pings, they know they're coming around from the backside. This could be a huge fight for Tongfu. Now the Ethereal Blade, they're going to blow up one. Garter's dead. There's the split coming out. They can't kill him. Now Kabu comes in, maybe trying to man up here with the fight. U9 getting brought low. He's going to waveform away and survive. Xiaolovo, on the meantime, he's going to be absolutely obliterating the rest of the squad. Q, Pulse Nova's up, doing some damage to Kabu, getting brought low. This split is actually doing work. 2 for 2 trade. And Xiaolov, if he goes down, he's in trouble. Unai trying to fight. Plasma Field, waveform away. He avoids the rest of the damage. He's okay for the time being. Xiaolov, Split Earth, he's going to fall. LGDcdec getting the better end of the fight for once in about 30 minutes or so. And they get 1,000 gold out of that. Not... it should have been so much more, I feel like. But, hey, they kill the Lycan. That's all they can ask for, man. He has buyback, obviously, but... they're going to try to push up into the tier 4s anyways, or maybe try to finish the racks off top. And it looks like they will do so. Buyback. Xiaolov might have to use it here. Kabu, I think he has one as well.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Maybe not. No, he does. So they want to force out as little. They don't want to use too many buybacks. They want to use as little buybacks as possible. 3-3-3. Waveform. BKB going. Split is not available. Static Link going in, but U9 still right-clicking him down. Meanwhile, now focusing on Razor. There's the Abyssal Blade. He's trying to right-click him down. It looks like they will get this kill. He's down for 91 seconds. The bigger target at this point is probably the Brewmaster, but I think they'll take a kill on the Razor any day of the week. And the tier 4 tower has to be defended as the right tier 4 tower is now sitting at 228 HP. It must be like a sauna for U9 because they are freaking sweating, honestly. This is a hard game and something that they're working really hard to try to take the victory for. They'd go to 2-1 with a victory here. This could be a big matchup. Basher. There's the Satanic. This is it. U9. I don't know if he's killable anymore. And there's also the Basher now coming out from Brewmaster. Items completed across the board. This is becoming a big arsenal. Almost nuclear silo level. I mean, every single hero in this game, maybe with the exception of LPC, has some decent item that can help them win a fight. I'm trying to see if I mean, even Red has a 4-staff, and that in of itself can save a hero. LPC is the only person really not having an impact on this game, but he actually is with Ice Armor, and even with Chain Frost as well. I mean, you talk about that spell, and it doesn't seem like it does that much damage at this point in time, but it can blow up some supports. And one thing is, they've been really blowing up Garter first and foremost in all these fights. I'm not sure if it's the best choice, but it certainly is going to get them a kill every single time. Might as well pick off the squishy supports more than anything. If you try to focus down the Panda, he's just going to get a split off. If you try to focus down, say, you know, the Razor, he's so tanky, he'll just link all of your damage away. So I think they're making the right choices here.
Bottom, a barrel of blast.
3-3-3. Heck of a game. 14-3-14. That is a damn stat line if I've ever seen one. This guy has been playing balls to the wall.
Is a great conductor.
56 minutes. We might see this game go past 60. I think there's a good chance, in fact, it does. We won't get much of a break between games 1 and 2. Damn it. Shall live in the top lane. Throws up the wolves. And he'll just try to push that in. force out some sort of rotation. Roshan is about to respawn, and both teams are going to see it, it looks like. Oh, the double edge! Did they get vision of it? I'm not sure. Roshan's going to come out of the pit. They will see it now. They see that he's in there. They just say, hey, hello, listen, this is available now. And you look at what... There's no bots for this Razor. He has no TP. Not that it would matter. He'd only TP to here. Rather than, you know, anywhere else than that. But Tongfu are going to try to take this Roshan. Jalov is going to head into the pit. Forge Spirits are there. They're going to get brought down quickly. And now it's the time for a defense from LGDcdec. I don't know if they can let this go. Primal Split jumps in immediately. Who's he going to find? Looking for the rock on the high ground. Meanwhile, they're blowing up the Fire Panda, the Earth Panda as well. They're trying to focus him down. The Wind Panda, the only one left. Abyssal Blade, he's done. 95 seconds he'll be down for. He buys back with no split. What can he do? That's a huge kill. Stop up. Razor in trouble. If he goes down, this might be Tongfu's fight and even Tongfu's game. Great defensive disruption. Eye of the Storm still burning away a lot of heroes, but U9 is going and has yet to use the Satanic. He can even just take this entire fight. But there's the Split Earth. He's Morphic Strike, the Sun Strike. They get it done. Somehow they wipe the team. Unbelievable. Eye of the Storm, Pulse Nova, Garter coming in. They don't even need the split. Tongfu get wiped. I don't even know how it happened. Oh my god, that Pulse Nova did some freaking work, man. Level 3 Pulse Nova, back up to the 12 Bloodstone charges. On top of that, the Shadow Poison stacks, the Sunstrike, Invoker kind of just hitting and doing some damage to the backside. U9 now getting caught out. He just bought back. Hex up Split Earth. He can't even morph. He's done. He's down. No buyback. Finally, LGDcdec at 58 minutes of the game. Oh my god, Tongfu, they were looking so good. What happened, guys? Oh no. Tongfu go down. LGDcdec with a heck of a late game coming in. One big fight changes everything. The complexion of the game. And they take the victory. First game does not disappoint. LGDcdec with one heck of a game. Guys, that's game number 1 in the books. We're going to jump into a quick break. Again, my name's Mott. Thanks for joining us here for the Summit Chinese Qualifiers. Make sure you check out, obviously, twitter.com/BeyondTheSummit and follow here at twitch.tv/BeyondTheSummit as well. If you enjoyed